Hey everyone, it's Sarah here, dietitian for the Dr. Yum Project, and today we're going to be talking about fun Halloween food activities that you can do at home. And these are great things to do any year, of course. We love incorporating new traditions and new food traditions and having fun with food in the kitchen, but it's especially going to be helpful for you this year because things are different. We can't maybe do all of the fun traditions that we used to do. We're not going trick-or-treating and things like that. So you might be looking for some new traditions that you can incorporate at your house so you can still have fun and celebrate the holiday. And the food activities I'm going to be sharing with you today are ones that we have done at the Dr. Yum Teaching Kitchen in past years. We have had community Halloween get-togethers where we've had all of these different food items set up and different food activities for the kids to do, and they've all been a really big hit. They're really fun, and the other nice thing about all the things we're going to be talking about today is they rely on a lot of common items. So you may already have all of the things you need in your fridge or in your pantry to do some of these activities. And if you don't quite have everything, they're all things that are really common and familiar and that you can find at your local grocery store or farmer's market. And there's a lot of different ways that you can make modifications and adjustments just depending on what you like, but also what's available, or maybe what's going to be right for you depending on allergies and other food restrictions that you might have in your family. So first, let's talk about some food activities that create an end product that the whole family can enjoy together. And the first one is a fruit tray that looks like a pumpkin. So this one is really fun because you get to arrange all the different fruits, and your kids can help with this to make it look like a pumpkin. And again, you can have some flexibility with the items you use. So you probably are going to want something orange for the pumpkin's overall face, and we used clementines for that. But you can play around with that too if you want to do a different kind of pumpkin, and you can play around with the other items you use to make the jack-o'-lantern's face, its eyes, its mouth, its nose. We also did a variation where we put some cut grapes around the edge to kind of fill in the rest of the tray. So you can kind of start with the basic template in mind, but then you can really get creative and just use what you like or use what you have around. A similar activity you can do is a veggie tray that's shaped like a skeleton. And this one is my personal favorite because you can play around with a lot of different fun textures of different produce items and different ways of cutting them or preparing them so they make all the components of the skeleton. So cauliflower makes a really good kind of bumpy skull or brain texture. You can use some spiralized vegetables like spiralized zucchini or carrot or cucumber to make the guts in the middle, and then any type of vegetable that you can cut into stick shapes like peppers or cucumbers or carrots can be there for the bones. You can use round produce items like cherry tomatoes to fill in the little joints, and then slices of bell pepper work really nice to make the rib cage. So these are just some suggestions, and you can see how ours looks and the way that we made it. But again, there is so much room for creativity, for using what you like, using what your kids think would make a fun arm or leg or rib cage or whatever, or just using what's available to you. And these types of trays, of course, can be great for a party setting like what we had at the Dr. Yum kitchen, but they're also great for a family to do because you can adjust the amounts and the size to what's going to be right for you. So if you don't want to make a whole tray because there aren't that many of you celebrating at home, then you can make it a little bit smaller. But also keep in mind that you can make the whole tray and then have stuff that's prepped to use later on the rest of the week. So if you make that whole veggie skeleton, you're gonna have a ton of vegetables that are gonna be around for you to use in snacks or different recipes or lunches or whatever throughout the week. So while it may look like it makes a lot, it can kind of also be a form of meal prep, and you can definitely make sure that all of those different items get used in your home. A fun accompanying activity to the veggie tray that you can do is a pepper jack-o'-lantern with hummus in the middle, or you can also do guacamole. Both of those have a really nice texture that you can put them in the pepper and squish it down, and then it can ooze out of the eyes and the mouth of the pepper jack-o'-lantern. And this is very popular when we've done it at the kitchen before, and it's also a very popular activity in our preschool food curriculum, Dr. Yum's Preschool Food Adventure. So this is really simple, but it looks really amazing, and especially if you play around with different colors. So if you use different colored peppers, use different colors of hummus, you can use a red pepper hummus, or if you go to dryum.org and look at our hummus recipes, you'll see that we have a green hummus there and a purple hummus that's made with beets. So you can definitely get creative with different color combinations, and when you use those different colors, I think it makes it extra fun. And the purple is especially great for Halloween because purple is kind of a Halloween color. So if you haven't made the beet hummus before, this would be a great time to try it. So those are some activities that give you kind of a big final product that everyone can eat together, but you can also do some food activities that are more individual where everyone makes their own individual creation. One fun one you can do is a monster face made with veggies, so everyone gets their own plate, and it's kind of like the skeleton activity, but now everyone's making their own. So you can select from all types of different produce items that you might chop up, as well as other types of ingredients that you could use, and then you and kids can get together and make different faces on your plate with the produce. It's a really great way for kids to be creative and learn that cooking is a creative activity and have fun with it. And they can see what types of different textures they want to create or different types of faces they want to create based on the different produce items or other items that they select. Sliced olives, pro tip, are a really great option for making eyes. So if you have those around, or if you can get those are a great thing to add into the mix when you're making your monster faces. Another fun activity are these little spider sandwiches. You can toast the bread and cut out little circles. If you don't want to have to run your toaster over and over again, you can also cut out the little circles on ahead of time and then put them on a baking sheet and toast them in the oven. That's a great way to do it. But then you can play around with different ways to make your spider sandwiches. So you can use a nut butter as the filling or sun butter. You can do like a peanut butter and jelly type of combination, or you can do a more savory sandwich with hummus or some other type of spread. And then pretzels make really great spider legs that you can stick out. But again, if you don't have pretzels and you want to go the savory route, you could use some different produce items, maybe some celery sticks or carrot sticks. And then for the spider's eyes, you can use raisins, dried cranberries, sunflower seeds can work, chocolate chips are great options, just any sort of little round thing that you can kind of push in a little bit into the top of the sandwich. And so these are really simple to make. Again, they use a lot of common ingredients, but they turn out really cute, and you can make a lot of different variations too, depending on what types of fillings and other ingredients you use when you make your sandwiches. A couple others that we've really liked, you can see here on this plate, are a ghost. So these are super simple. All you have to do is cut a banana in half. Or if it's a large banana, you might cut a little bit smaller pieces, but that kind of gives you your ghost shape. And then you can, again, use chocolate chips or raisins or dried cranberries or some other sort of like kind of round food item that's small that you can push into the banana to give its eyes, give it a mouth. If you want to give it arms, you can do that too, but that's a really simple one. And you probably, if you have bananas, then you can probably find the other things to make that one happen. And then these little monster apple faces are great too. You just take a slice of a green apple, cut a little wedge in there. You can spread in some nut butter or sun butter, and then put something red in for its tongue. So we've used strawberries, but you could really use any sort of red produce item. You could even use bell pepper or something like that if you want to do kind of like a little sweet and savory combination. And again, something to push in for its eyes, the chocolate chips, sunflower seeds, things like that. And we really love these types of creative or artistic food activities because they serve a few different purposes. First off, most importantly, they're really fun to do, but they also give a lot of opportunities for kids to experience food in a creative way and learn that cooking is a creative process and to flex their own creative muscles. They get to learn about different textures and shapes and think about how all of these different food items can come together to make some of these different creative projects that we've been discussing. And then also they're getting tons of sensory exposure from touching all the produce items and being involved in the cooking process. So it's really a great thing to do at home, and it's something that is really accessible because you're just using food items that are very common, and then at the end you get to eat it. So nothing's going to waste. And as far as crafts go, it's kind of nice when you get to eat the mess instead of having to clean it up at the end. And let us know in the comments if you have any other fun food activities that you do at Halloween, or maybe some fun food traditions that you have that go along with the holiday, because we would love to hear about those. And you know, here at the Dr. Yum Project, we know that food, of course, is about nutrition, but it's also about family and fun and connection and memories and all of these different things that come in when we're talking about food and sharing a meal together with the people that we love and care about. So we hope that you will try some of these. Let us know if you do, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.